form, feeling, perception, conceptions, and consciousness. Those are known kind of in the samsara level. We divided that in with that. And among that in the samsara, among that, all this form, feeling is so important. Samsara. We all completely kind of like relying on the feelings. 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 And what that feeling is. Who is it analyzing? Who is dividing? Who is nominating that feeling? Reality level is the mind. It's nothing else. Feelings. If your mind if our mind decided, even if it looks like outside is something kind of harsh and difficult, trouble, it's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. It's beautiful, actually. If mind is not accepting things as it is, and externally so beautiful, so nice, and so perfect, our feeling is not good. We are suffering. So who really decided that? It's mind. Mind is deciding that. Everything is like with our habit and our mind is decided. So then in the feeling level, how many feelings? According to teaching, there's 6 feelings. Or generally there's a feeling, how many feelings? The good feelings, bad feelings, and the neutral feelings. And that divided by with 6 consciousness. So 6 different feelings divided as 3. Good feeling of the eye, bad feeling of the eye, and the neutral feeling of the eye. And as well as then a and the nose and the tongue and the body and then mental status. So all together 18 different feelings. So this feeling is not outside, is really coming, existing. Is only the mind is direct in that. And habit pattern is a continued cling onto that. Those great masters who got the realization, understand everything as a great enlightenment status, then what is called? Equanimity status. That's what called equanimity. One taste. Realizations. This is not one taste coming from outside, it's inner realization that expresses all that. And then, such as like now conceptions. Second, the most important is the conceptions. Feeling, perceptions. Second most important ask for in samsara is perceptions. Perception is ideas, beliefs, and traditions. Those are so important. Second is important in samsara is the perceptions. We do so many things. Everything is perfect, the beautiful things, but if our perception is not correct, we disturb everything. Because we want the correct perceptions or traditions, beliefs, all these ideas, our way of thinking, way of lives. All this we make so much emphasis on this. Emphasize. And where that comes from, again, is the mind. So perception, feeling is the mind, and divided and ruled by the mind, and perception is ruled by the mind. And mind itself is what? It's empty. There's nothing substantial, solid existing. But yet it rules everything. Then all the conceptions of course mind. All is mind. In the Buddha's teaching, there is 52 conceptions. No matter whatever the numbers are, whatever how the conceptions are emanating, but all is mind. All is mind. Then consciousness is mind. Consciousness is mind. So that means whole. And then the forms our mind, which discussed yesterday in according to Buddhism, is all through the habit patterns developed, form, and everything, subject and object, and all that developed according to Buddhism. In reality, also everything is empty. And for that reason, in Heart Sutra teachings, form is emptiness, feeling is emptiness, perception is emptiness, conception is emptiness, consciousness is emptiness. And they are not negation, empty, blank status. All is also appearance. For those reasons, gracious teacher Buddha used what in Heart Sutra. Emptiness is form, emptiness is the feeling, emptiness is the perception, emptiness is the conception, emptiness is the consciousness. It's arising. This is where the nature is. But whatever it is, it's ruling our whole entire environment. Everything is ruled by the mind in the samsara. That's what we really always kind of like accepting, rejection, and all the difficulty, troubles, or whatever this is, all is going. And done by this mind. Done by nothing but else, reality level, the principle, we're talking source, the boss or the troublemaker, and the ruler. It rules everything, our entirely. So that is really the mind. And now and then now we'll think and then nirvanas on a Dharma level. Everything what we talk, again in the Dharma, such as 10 bhumis, if we look thinking of the 10 bhumis, is the mind. 10 bhumis is a development of our mental status. 5 path is development of our realization of our mental status, strengths. And joy and appreciation is the mind. Joy is the mind. Appreciation is the mind. Respect is the mind. Loving kindness is the mind. Compassion is the mind. All those analyzations, the divisions, and what our teaching mentioned, all that is really mind. Think that, this is what Buddha's teaching. You said in Buddhism, what do we call it? When you practice, we have to have the confidence in the practices. Certainty, we have to have certainty, confidence. We're establishing exactly where things are. So later when practice, we don't have to lingering, questioning, doubt, and putting encouragement again and again. And this is also known as establishing the view with analytics. You're looking thoroughly exactly as it is, not just a kind of believing on what is said, but analyze. This is important to do. So you see, that means samsara is ruled by the mind and nirvana is ruled by the mind. All is mind. So that is so we understand it. Mind is the principle on the relative level. Relative level of the samsara, relative level of the Dharma. Dharma, this mind is so powerful and important and the principles. Now that mind, where is that mind? That is known as then singling out of the mind. You're singling out the mind. Present we believe, when we think, with our thought, where we're thinking, mind, what we have, what ourself. What in the teaching said, body, speech, and mind. These three, that's what we have. Present we think, the body and the speech and the mind all together. Together, that's what really we think. Without any kind of analyzation, we can't think. But reality level, these three things are so different. They're not the same. And what is body? Body is produced by our two elements from our parents. Principally, that is what developed. And where is also matter, mass, M-A-S-S, I think. It's mass, it's element. And is mind is the element? Or mind is the water? Mind is the fire? Mind is the wind? Mind is the earth? No. It's completely different. And then you look at mind and body, compare it. And the body has all different these features. We have different features of the body. Or any different beings has different features of the forms. Mind has any forms? Can see anything? Forms? Formation? No. Mind, and so therefore, and then also of course we can, according to Buddhism, this body has over 360 pieces of the bones. And mind is not like that, we can divide it. So mind and the bodies are completely different. They are not same. Even we think it's kind of same all together. So it's different. And mind is not with the body, and body is not the same as. Or mind is not like body is not like mind. They are like different. Even they all are together with here now, with these times. And then we think of the voice. Voice is also, even though it's together here, but it's not the same. Mind and voice are same? No. Mind and voice are different. Voice has we can analyze the long and short and beautiful or not beautiful, and all those analyzation. Voice we can, and different language and so forth. All that. But mind is completely different. It cannot divide, it cannot analyze, cannot figure out any of those things with mind. So it's really different. Totally different. So therefore, mind and again, voice or the speech is different. And then what is this mind? Mind is again, mind is, even though it's not cannot put in any of those categories and compare it in any of those as like togetherness, but yet mind rules everything, as I said so many times. And that's what the gracious teacher Buddha said. Everything. If we like to make happy, we should walk with the mind. If we like to make peaceful, we should walk with the peaceful. That's what the gracious teacher, for example, Nagarjuna said in his teaching said. And said, he's writing a letter to his friend King, said, "Oh King, you should subdue your own mind, and that will bring everything peace and happiness. Because mind is the root of everything. So, and for that reason, also what in the Buddha teaching said, if we subdue the mind, then all those unwanted things that we don't want is completely naturally dissolved. And then mind goes to the front of everything. Every activity we do is mind. So mind is the really ruler, mind is so important. Therefore, the practice of the meditation and walking with mind is the most powerful, important that we can do in these lives. That we can. Also, this what we developed with mind is not going to stay behind as like voice and as a body when we depart from this world. It comes, according to Buddhism, it will come with you. Mind is always with you. Therefore, whatever we develop with mind, it really will continue. It will develop, it will benefit them. So those are analyzing in the more relative levels how the mind is in how important is mind, how is ruling is mind, and how what the distinctions of the between body, speech, mind, and now mind is completely kind of singled out. We kind of single it out. First we see the mind is ruler of everything or does everything, and then we single out the mind. Now the mind is none of those what we think. Is not the body, is not the voice, is not the voice. Now mind. And now when we think of this mind, then we analyze the mind. Now, that is, many of you know already. And those are known as then looking to the mind of the it is the past, it is the present, and it is the future. You look to the mind. And it is what in the Tibetan in the teaching said, Chungni Drosam. Coming, if I translate roughly, coming, existing, and a destination. This is what we are now going to look to the mind, exactly how the mind is. And we are going to establishing the mind as it is. We are going to trying to behold the mind is as Great Master Maharaj said here. Look to the mind. We are going to establish the view. That view is what we mean. It's exactly as it is. Exactly as it is. We are going to viewing as it is. We are not going to view is not as it is. Wrongly view. That is not going to benefit us. Instead, it is going to disturb us. So we are going to really find out exactly that view. We are going to look to this mind and find out exactly as it is. Of course, we know now kind of roughly understand mind is emptiness. But when you understand the mind is emptiness, what is that is known as in teaching? It's intellectual. That intellectual is a correct intellectual, but it's intellectual. Now we're going to go a little further than intellectual. Really going to see. Not just the I heard, I think, or I might be. That is not. We're going to establish the view called direct perception view of the direct perception. Because not the past, not the future, right in the now. We're going to establish the view or nature of the mind as it is. For that reason, then we're going to put the inquiry. Now again, analytic thought, where mind is come from, or where mind was before, and where mind will be future, where mind future will be, where is mind now? Now, or is in the teaching also more detailed level what the teaching said where mind stayed, or where past mind where it came from, and past mind where it stayed, and past mind where it went. So that both subject and object, mind is like a subject and a place to stay or coming from, and a place to stay, and where it went as like object. Analyze in 3 or 6 different ways. Where it stayed, where it come from, where it stayed, where it went. And what is the past that mind? What is that? Who stayed that mind? What one stayed that? What is that mind? Where that mind went? Kind of looking object level, analyze it from subject level and object level. So then, what you establish, what do you find? Each time when you will question that, it's emptiness. Simple to tell emptiness or the speechless. There's nothing really to explain anything. And then the future, where mind, that future mind, where is it coming from, where is it going to stay, where it is going to go. And that mind, what that mind, where that mind, and where that go. So again, 6 different ways in the future, subject and object level. Because why you're doing this? Why am I teaching mention? Because to make sure that you really find exactly as it is, your own intelligence or our own intelligence. You analyze that. We heard so many times, mind is emptiness, mind is speechless, mind is openness, mind is infinite. But now we are putting our own intelligence, wisdom to find out as it is. So now we did past and the future. Now look to the present, where this present mind is sitting or came from. Where is it sitting now? And where this is going? And again, subject and object level. Object level. Now, what we found? What really we can see? This is not, as I said, is the believing. Buddha said, I'm going to believe that. This is not just a believing. And also not just going to be nice or I just going to kind of think that. We're finding out exactly as it is. And this is when we establish it, it is also can be known as direct perception realization. Direct perception is right now. It's not the past, it's not the future, you're looking to your mind. When we look to this mind by mind, all looking to the lookers, that always looks. So now what we find? Then it's totally what Buddha said. Exactly what Buddha said, when we aim as getting, it's merging. This is the merging. What the scripture said, I will even put the analytically what we do is find exactly as it, then there is nothing more to doubt, nothing more to hesitate, and really just be as it is. This is also known as what? The Great Master, when you find exactly as it is, Great Master Garab Dorji said, pointing out exactly as it is. Pointing out exactly as it, or introducing and pointing out exactly as it is your own, our own innate nature. This nature, what we're talking now, is not talking with someone else. We're talking, each of us, our own mind. We discover exactly what as it is. It's pointing out of the discovery. It is our innate nature by ourselves. It is own status. It is own status. This is known as then what also teaching said, establishing the view. This is the view now. View. This view, when we are meditating, what are we meditating? We are maintaining that view. Meditation is not something different than the view. Therefore, what's called union of the view and the meditation, coming together exactly as it is. What you viewed, that you're maintaining. You're keeping up that. That is. So now you discovered. We find out mind is emptiness. Mind is emptiness. And emptiness is energy or the spontaneous inherent. Exactly. Even though spontaneous arising energy